My role at Dimerix is Director of Regulatory Affairs, so I look after all of the documentation and interactions with regulatory bodies around the world, whether that be for the ongoing clinical trials or for future product registrations. So the main objectives of my role are to make sure the clinical trials that are ongoing are all supported by the appropriate documentation and approvals with regulators around the world, and also to work towards product approval for DMX 200. So in the background, we're working on strategy and all of the documentation that's required for those processes, which can be quite lengthy and time consuming. And we're working towards those applications in 2028. I was a chemistry graduate and I went onto a graduate program with GSK in the UK, and I was lucky enough to get a really great overview of the drug development process. Initially, I started working in analytical product development, and then I moved into regulatory affairs, and that was about 22 years ago, and I've been involved ever since in registrations, mainly of new products, so watching the products be developed from scratch through to product registration and commercialization. What excites me the most is that in regulatory affairs we get to see the whole process from end to end. So from the very early concept discussions around the product right through to commercialization, and we touch upon every function within the business. So we have to pull together all of the history of the product and how it's been developed, and all of the technical aspects. And it's really interesting work with all the different departments, and also to understand the different challenges along the way and to find solutions to those challenges to make sure that we can address any queries from the regulators. So one of the key highlights from a regulatory perspective was having the US IND opened in 2022, and that allowed us to proceed with the phase 3 clinical trial. The clinical trial is being conducted in a large number of countries, so we had to gain approval in all of those countries, and the US IND was a critical milestone. Also opening the IND in China, which was a very complex and challenging process, but which we got through with a great team effort. So those were probably the two key highlights for me so far. I think working on the graduate program was really what drew me into the pharmaceutical industry, and being able to see the products move through the development process, and to understand how all of those parts work together to achieve the overall success. And I really enjoyed the analytical and strategic parts of the job, and that's where I've ended up. The Dimerix team is a really diverse and a talented bunch of individuals who really work well together. We have such a good team culture. There's a strong degree of trust in each other and everyone's expertise, that everyone will jump in and deliver on common goals. So that makes it a really interesting and pleasant place to work when everybody is so trusting and supportive of each other. I think it would have to be Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, because the team at Dimerix really punches well above its weight in terms of what it can deliver from such a small team. So I really like art, and I've recently taken up drawing again, which was something I did at school, and I'll be constantly doodling in meetings all day, and at the end of the day I'll have a good little sketch pad with lots of drawings on it from my day's work. One of the books I've just finished reading most recently was Dirtbag Billionaire, which is about the founder of Patagonia. It's a really interesting story about how he grappled with his passion for the environment versus the commercial aspects of his business. And in the end, he finds a way to donate all of the income from the business to charitable funds supporting the environment. And it's a really interesting read for anyone who's enjoys the outdoors, but also understands the challenges of commercial marketing and retail. So I'm passionate about using my technical expertise for the good of the community. So I use my writing skills to help put together grant applications for a homeless charity in our local community. And so I've done that for about 6 years, and in that time I've managed to raise quite a lot of funds to support the ongoing operations of that facility, which has been a bit of a passion project. I think it would have to be another language. I studied languages at school and really enjoyed them, but as I get older, it's getting harder and harder to absorb a new language and to be able to speak it fluently. So I think being able to master Mandarin would probably be my superpower. I think I probably would have chosen some artistic pathway. I really enjoy art, and something like interior design would have been probably my dream job if I could have find a way to make it pay back in those days. So early on in my career in the graduate program, one of the things that someone said to me was, try to be a sponge and to soak up all of the best advice that you get from around you. I think that the asset of any organisation is its people, and they're the ones that make things happen. So by soaking up all the advice from the people around you who are more experienced, you can really help to accelerate your career by understanding how to work well with other people.